What the hell was going on in the Olympics? Who said that this was a good idea? But anyway, the person in the blue, that is a biological male fighting a woman in the Olympics in 2024. Who could have seen this day coming? Well, it's happening. As crazy as it is, this is real.
A la mexicana, Mane Kelly, que se está llevando la contienda.
What the fuck is going on?
Ahora en las repeticiones, golpe de impacto. Sí. Se vio claramente de nueva cuenta el recto en combinación. Hasta 5 golpes alcanzó a conectar. Manejándose con el jab y otra vez en la combinación ahí. En el upper, otro golpe de impacto. Le van a aplicar otra cuenta de protección. Cuidado, porque si llega a una tercera ocasión es susceptible de que le detengan el pleito.
La velocidad de puños de Kelly no pudo contrarrestar lo rápido que desenfundaba tanto la izquierda como la derecha, y en la parte de este tercer episodio se estuvo comiendo en reiteradas ocasiones el jab y el recto.
Who agreed to this? Those people who run the Olympics and decide what goes, they actually agreed to this. You know, surely that referee, the corner of the guy fighting a girl, they must all know this is bullshit. This guy fighting women, he was obviously shit at fighting men, so he decided to jump in with the females and smoke them. You can just imagine these females who've trained their whole life for this moment. For one opportunity, they get there 20 years later, 10 years later, whatever, and they're fighting a bloke. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the father of that woman, how he feels?
Aquí repasamos estos momentos de apremio para la mexicana, como observamos aquí que le estaban dejando el guante
Champions of this
en el
tournament.
botón y la esquina azul.
Blue corner de Algeria.
El resultado,
Kelly
es campeona de Golden Bell Series.
Aquí está por abandono, como ya les platicábamos desde la esquina, dijeron no más castigo.
Yeah, well done, mate. You celebrate, you salute. You just beat up a girl. I bet you're really proud of yourself, aren't you? Why didn't I bet on this? I should have bet some money on this. I could have been a millionaire.
Tell them to bring me my money.
So in the Olympics this year, there's 2 men competing against females in the boxing, which is wild. And unfortunately, one of these women is going to get seriously injured fighting one of these dudes. And last year, the same 2 people were actually banned from competing in the World Championships. But this year, they just said, fuck it, and let's just let them compete. So this year, they broke the chains. And on top of the bullshit we've already watched, there was a commentator who said this, and she was actually fired for what she said.
Let's play a little game. Imagine it's day 2 of the games. You're watching a men's swimming event on TV. Meanwhile, a medal ceremony is also underway for the women's 4x100 freestyle relay. Suddenly, you hear this.
Well, the women just finishing off. You know what women are like, hanging around, you know, doing the makeup.
So after that man said that, which it was a joke, the internet just took off saying this guy's a misogynist, he's sexist, this was the worst thing I've ever heard, I'm super offended, it's disgusting. Like, it's not that big of a deal, you know. But you know, there's a lot of snowflakes out there, so people didn't like it.
An Olympics commentator has been removed from his job after making an outrageous sexist remark about Australia's female swimmers. Eurosport's commentator Bob Ballard was covering the women's 4x100-meter swim relay when he was heard discussing the Australian team leaving the stadium. He said, "You know what women are like, hanging around, doing their makeup?" Eurosport say they are removing the commentator from their coverage of the Olympics with immediate effect. Ballard claims he did not intend to upset or belittle anyone and has apologized for the sexist comment.
So let me get this straight. The Olympics will let men go in the ring and just light up women, right? They'll let that happen. But this guy making a joke, which he didn't say anything extreme, did he? So they'll cancel him and say it's outrageous, but they'll let men beat up the girls. So I don't really know where their priorities and values stand with this one. But let me know, guys, what you think of the situation of the Olympics, of the boxing, or all the other crazy stuff we've seen going on over there. Let me know in the comments.
Okay, this can and will not be unnoticed. This is so unacceptable, it's ridiculous. A born woman Italian female fighter just forfeited her boxing match against a transgender woman athlete after getting hit in the face once and decided she cannot do it. Imagine building up something your whole entire life just to have those dreams shattered by someone who you shouldn't even be competing against. When is this shit gonna stop?
Yeah, I mean, I think like a year ago, I did a video about people talking about this might happen, and I was saying, look, it shouldn't happen. As a boxer myself, I know the risks and dangers. Even men fighting against men, let alone men fighting against women, it's just absurd. And the people making these decisions have never thrown a punch in their life. They've never taken a punch in their life. They have no idea the damage that these guys could do to these girls, man. Should never happen. But the big boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, if you don't know who he is, he's one of the biggest boxing promoters in the world, if not the. He had his say on the situation. Let's hear what he has to say.
The International Olympic Committee defended its decision to allow 2 boxers who failed testosterone and gender eligibility tests and had previously been pulled from other tournaments, but they've been allowed to compete in Paris. What's your thoughts on that? There's been a lot of people who've been vocal online about it.
I don't know if there's even a debate. I don't know enough about the situation. I don't know enough about the athletes or who, what. The only thing I will say is, if you, in my opinion, and this is, if you are born male, you should not be competing against females. I mean, that's my bread and butter opinion, particularly in a sport, by the way. And this is, by the way, I'm not saying there should be different rules for different sports, but if there's different arguments for sports that aren't physical, where there is no, where in a sport where you can receive physical damage, it is very different to a conversation and a debate in another sport. But in boxing, that is my opinion.
And I think we would all agree with him. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that men shouldn't be lighting up chicks, especially at the Olympics, man. The Olympics is meant to be the top of the food chain when it comes to competitive sports. And they're allowing this. I mean, you can only imagine what the future holds, man.
The Paris 2024 Olympics are here, and something that is really exciting me about this Olympics is how gay this Olympics is.
We don't care.
Let me tell you. First of all, it's in Paris. Second, there are 155 out LGBTQ plus athletes. When I do this series, I realize what a Canadian accent I have, that I say out. Out. It's going to bug you the whole series, I promise.
I don't think it's your accent that's going to bug us, mate.
155 LGBTQ plus athletes that are out, over 25 countries. I've been doing my LGBTQ plus Olympian series for 6 to 8 years now, and it is wild to me how many more out athletes there are and how visible they are in the media and on their social media platforms. When I started this series, it did not feel as comfy for athletes to be out. I'm very excited this year, as usual, to highlight the LGBTQ plus athletes competing, and if you are interested in this series, make sure to follow along.
Are we all watching the Olympics for the same thing? I don't really think we are. Don't we watch the best athletes in the world perform and win medals? But it seems like the media and people like this, that they're watching it for the wrong reasons, to push an agenda. That's what it seems to me, And if this is the Olympics this year, can you imagine 2025, 26, 27, 28? Holy smokes, man. I didn't really watch the Olympics, if I'm honest, because I sort of knew what was coming on the horizon. I think we all might have assumed that the Olympics might have gone this way, but I did not think it would be this bad. I'm sure you guys saw the open ceremony about the whole Last Supper situation. I mean, that's a whole different topic, but it is crazy, man. I think that the fact that they're letting, I know I'm beating that dead horse, but the fact that they're letting men and women compete against each other, and like the woman who got punched in the face and she quit, she couldn't handle it. She trained her whole life for that, to get punched in the face by a dude who shouldn't even be there. It is wild. It is wild out there in the West. It really is. But let me know your thoughts on the situation, guys. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.